to the wolf's den and getting brutally punished, running the gauntlet, and they do survive. Quite fortunate for them. And now we are seeing the Sturmgewehr assault rifle being equipped. And of course Sturmgewehr actually means assault rifle, and that's probably where the whole assault bit rifle comes from. Certainly would not be a bad assumption. And we are seeing some anti-tank grenades being researched as well. Munitions again not lacking, but again I might have recommended something else, like I know Group Seal, perhaps going for the Panzer Support Command, going for some Panzer Force, who knows. Marder 3 though joining in the fun, opening up with its very large Pak 40 gun and doing quite a bit of damage to this armored car. In fact, armored car looking rather blackened. Engine is damaged, it probably won't be making it away. Schwimbach looking a bit unfortunate there as well, but Jess is pushing through here in the east. Good job. And the armored car still seems to be alive. Rifleman hiding on the wrong side of the cover, and there we go. Armored car is out of control, and kaboom! Debris flying to all sides, and the Marder scores a kill for Deutschland. Panzer Grenadiers receiving some healing, and of course we are seeing defensive operations being researched there, of course. Riflemen sneaking about, still a bit exposed though, and Panzer Grenadiers moving in, going to punish the Americans for stepping on the soil of the Reich. Cutting down a few and perhaps getting some veterancy in the process. Yes, indeed, we'll be seeing some offensive veterancy. That would be quite devastating. No defensive, apparently. A bit of a shame, considering they've been quite effective with those Gewehr 43s in particular. Panzer Grenadiers repairing the armored car. Perhaps not the most efficient method, but again, all he has, and he doesn't have the Kampfgruppe Company to actually get the repair upgrade. Engineers forced back, heavily wounded, and what's going on in the American base? Riflemen really gathering up there for something, meeting, reinforcements, healing. Probably might want to move out in a huge assault, and we are seeing BARs. Could this be a huge human wave assault? Would Jess perhaps have been a better servant in the Soviet army, doing things for the motherland and Stalin rather than Uncle Sam? Only time will tell, I suppose. I don't know. Don't know why I tried to sound like Sean Connery then. I probably did a terrible job at it. Nonetheless, fighting continues as the Americans continue against the Hun. While the brave boys of the 17th SS are holding out. Not nice positions. It's not the strongest. It's only light cover, but plenty of Gewehr 43s. Rifleman goes down with the first shot, and they are continuing out in the open. Not really the best place you want to be against Gewehr 43s. One already getting suppressed. We'll be seeing something else going on. Perhaps a few incendiary grenades now to really catch these here. And pineapple grenades being thrown in counter. Incendiary grenades catching some of those riflemen there. Armored car might want to continue to move in into force. Apparently does not. Riflemen continue to charge these Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers not retreating towards this building for cover. And oh dear, another incendiary grenades though dropping off. And Riflemen taking heavy losses. One Rifleman team might be lost. No, it retreats. Only one left, and it is also taking heavy losses in face of the veteran Panzer Grenadiers of the 17th SS. Grenade going off, killing 2 Panzer Grenadiers. That was quite a... And a rifle team is just barely cut down by these Panzer Grenadiers with 18 kills. Quite lethal veterans. And securing a BAR for themselves, really increasing the firepower for the force. Had they chosen the offensive veterancy, they would be even more lethal, because that BAR would in fact be even more accurate. And Schwimbach securing this point here. Again, not entirely sure why this armored car was not moved in to sort of support. And we shall have to see, of course, what's going on. But another armored car is out, and what else shall be coming out? A Hetzer. That's a bit interesting. We haven't really seen much armor. And of course, when you have a Marder 3, not much reason to get a Hetzer. The Marder 3 is quite a lot better. Yes, the Hetzer can also deal a bit better with infantry. That, of course, should not be ignored. But at the same time, you're not necessarily going to get the Hetzer only for its anti-infantry abilities. But again, it's not bad at it. It's not hugely effective at it though, but of course it can be used. But if you're facing an opponent using huge hordes of infantry throwing at them at you, might not do much. And looks like the mine was hit and a Schwimmwagen was lost. Incendiary grenade going to clear out this anti-tank on Panzer grenades. Might want to get out of there. A bit too close to all of this automatic fire, and there we go. Armored car still not joining in the fun though, but it does have offensive infantry. And now further armored cars moving in, and this one moving straight into the wolf's lair, and of course getting blown to bits. Again, not something you want to be doing. Armored cars are a bit fragile. Panzer grenades moving in from this east, putting on a bit of pressure. Incendiary grenades being dropped on the anti-tank gun once more, clearing out. Pineapple grenades though, oh my goodness, 3 Panzer grenades are down. Heavy losses, but a bit of veterancy though is up for some of these Panzer grenadiers. Will it be offensive? Will it be defensive? And these will apparently be sticking around for the fatherland. Heads mowing down some haystacks. Apparently not entirely sure what is in the commander's mind, of course. 17th SS did not have Etzers, it had Stooks. We could of course suppose imagine it's sort of one. Stooks were in fact used as replacement in some companies, divisions that were supposed to have Hetzers. Then again, they were also used in replacement for tanks and Jagdpanzer IV. In fact, this Stook was used for replacement as for a lot of things. And we are seeing some riflemen hanging about here again, perhaps laying up for another huge assault. Not looking good for the Panzer Elite commander though, taking higher and higher losses. Attrition really digging in, and of course continuing losing Schwimmwagens and then getting new ones. And let us return to Jess, who has not gone for a single doctrine as of yet. Riflemen marching out once more under the Star-Spangled Banner. Panzer grenades the only thing to really hold them back. Again, apparently the defensive line has moved back, abandoning those Panzer grenades. That's a really bad move. Grenade being dropped and doing absolutely nothing. Good retreat there. And we are seeing some Panzer grenades moving in with assault rifles taking up positions behind all these stacks of planks. Armored car joining in. Panzer grenades though getting suppressed by all of this automatic fire. Incendiary grenade being dropped, but again, incendiary grenades aren't really hand grenades. They aren't really going to have quite the effect. And a sticky bomb off on this armored car, immobilizing the armored car. Oh dear, that's going to go down in seconds. Marder 3 pulling back. This is an all-out disaster for the 17th SS. And of course the Marder 3 of the Panzerjäger Abteilung continuing to just blast away, slowly pulling back. Marder 3s were in fact used for those, for infantry, Panzer grenades and other things. Of course armored divisions did get more armored things to of course support them, but again in some cases they couldn't get them, and so of course had to rely on less armored bits. The Marder 3 and the heads are of course based on the same Panzer 38T chassis, which of course was a very reliable one, and in fact was used from the start of the war right to the end in many different forms. Oh my goodness, 2 grenades there, killing off one team and gravely wounding the other. Returning to this, of course, used from the start to the end for, and first as a tank, then as a tank destroyer, self-propelled artillery, self-propelled anti-tank gun, and now in this case, of course, assault gun and tank destroyer. Really, a lot of uses for that tiny chassis. Extraordinary, and of course, says a lot about those Czechoslovakians that made it in the first place. And of course, later on of German ingenuity when they continue to just rely on and make some other good things out of it. Riflemen moving in on these Panzer Grenadiers. Again, I don't think incendiary grenades will solve anything. Heads are moving in though. And I do believe there might have been a small misjudgment here on the part of Hauptmann L, or Hauptsturmführer L. Instead of actually getting something that can actually deal with infantry, he's apparently expecting some sort of armored assault. But of course it's never not really going to appear. The Hetzer though is of course doing a decent job blasting away with its machine gun and main gun. Might hit another rifleman. No, apparently not. That's a bit interesting. Marder 3 joining in. Marder 3s are not tank hunters, despite what Saving Private Ryan might have inspired you to do. You should not send them into close quarters or against infantry. And Panzer Grenadiers moving out into the open with their assault rifles, awfully exposed against this horde of BAR equipped. Oh, come on. More incendiary grenades. Goodness gracious. Might want to be dispatched to the Eastern Front after this. And Panzer Grenadiers might be lost on the retreat, or might make it out of their heads, so they're continuing to blast away. Firing away a bit, not really managing to hit anything, and now getting covered in sticky bombs. So goodness gracious. Damaged engine and destroyed. This is not good, but it continues. The brave Hetzer continues to move backwards. And what is this? Bergtiger repair and recovery vehicle. I'm not entirely sure there's enough vehicles to actually sort of make that viable. And if he has that, why hasn't gone for something like a Panzer 4 or even a Hotchkiss light tank? That would certainly have been of greater use instead of just using incendiary grenades. Hetzer though getting repairs, but it might end up in the line of fire of that anti-tank gun. And yes, kaboom! We do see a mine from Leithnir though, and actually killing some riflemen. Bergtiger left on its own. Bergtiger actually wasn't, perhaps not actually a Bergtiger. It might have been some sort of other vehicle. It was actually never really determined. Fun fact. Of course, there were recovery vehicles already. There was a Berg Hetzer. Actually, I believe there were Berg Panzer 4s and Berg Panthers and Berg Panzer 3s. In fact, there were a lot of recovery vehicles. There was a half-track for it. So certainly not like Relic didn't have a lot of choices in this matter. But of course, the Bergtiger does look rather impressive and huge, and of course gives us more Tiger on the battlefield. And we are seeing some anti-tank guns lining up there. One being abandoned. Single rifleman team up against all these Panzer Grenadiers with lots of defensive efficiency, quite able to soak up a lot of damage, and grenades being exchanged. Panzer Grenadiers though on the wrong end of the exchange, taking 2 losses. But riflemen apparently go into a full retreat. Riflemen in desperate need of reinforcements, high upkeep, might want to consider upgrading. There we go, in fact upgrading it, just as I was about to say, what was a good idea. In fact, before I did say it, Bergtiger repairing this Hetzer. Bergtiger in fact being really good at repairing units. Certainly something to keep in mind. Anti-tank guns getting out of dodge, while Panzer Grenadiers continue with low health. Barely any infantry left though. Only 2 teams, a Schwimmwagen Hetzer that is deeply wrecked, and of course a Bergtiger. And what is this? Engineers doing a bit of harassment, but an armored car is fresh out of the Panzerjäger command, and let's return to it. Another armored car, not trying to do anything with this Panzer support command, for example, getting some sort of armor, perhaps a Panzer 4 to deal with all this. Or perhaps getting a Hotchkiss if he has that, with perhaps some Stuka rockets, perhaps a Kampfgruppe company with a mortar, perhaps anything. And my goodness, moving the Hetzer right into the line of fire. Might get covered in sticky bombs, or the armored car will. Apparently not having much success. Riflemen apparently pulling back in the face of this. Though anti-tank guns are quick to move into support. Not a bad position right behind the infantry, of course, shielding the anti-tank guns, of course, making it a bit harder to deal with those. So that's a good move to do it, and in fact that was rather how American tank destroyer doctrine worked, I believe. They in fact relied highly on their anti-tank guns until someone actually went, wouldn't it be better if we used those self-propelled ones in larger numbers? An armored car getting torn apart by BAR fire. Marder free, recovered by the Bergtiger, but not going to do much. Anti-tank guns might knock out their heads once more. Although looks like this Marder free is going to be lost soon. Bergtiger trying to ineffectually fire away with its tiny mounted machine gun. Not going to have much luck though. Anti-tank guns moving forwards. Panzer Grenadiers moving to try and salvage the situation. And I hope he's not going to drop an incendiary grenade. Wait, that might actually be a good spot, but no. Grenades being dropped on them instead. Killing 2 Panzer Grenadiers as always.